What's going on? My name is Manny. Welcome to Conversation 7 with a new Renaissance. I'm joined by the Mox today,
Hello.
a very great band out of Austin, Texas, and we're going to talk to them about creativity, what got them started, where they are now, and where their new album is going to hopefully take them, and all the inspirations and everything in between. So I appreciate you guys for being on today.
Thank you so much for having us,
Thank
man.
you.
Of course. Since this is my first time with a group, I'd like to go around and introduce all of yourselves and then kind of what the Mox is all about, and then we'll kind of go from there.
My name is Vince. I sing.
My name's Alec. I play guitar.
My name is Saeed. I'm the drummer.
Pass it. My name is Carl. I play bass and I sing.
He
Wow.
sings.
Backing vocals.
If you're lucky.
Perfect. All right. So, what's the story of the Mox? When did you guys get started? How did y'all find each other? And what type of music do you make for those who may not know y'all at home?
So, I think the idea of it started when I moved here to Austin like 3 years ago. I came here with the purpose of finding musicians and finding a band and going as far as I can with this whole music thing. And it took me a little bit to kind of get everybody where we are today. We went through a couple different versions of the band, some that didn't work as well as others, but finally, kind of little by little, I started finding the guys, and I found him through Facebook.
Yeah, just through
Wow.
a random Facebook
and
ad.
just kind of
That's
put out
crazy.
like, hey, I need band members, and I put the music, and I found him. He came first, actually. Yeah.
Pause.
Oh, and then I found Carl through Tinder
Yeah.
There's a Tinder for musicians.
for musicians.
To plug them, it's
Actually?
called Bandcamp.
No, band mix.
What's it
Band
called?
Mix.
Band Mix. Sorry,
Bandcamp
I was gonna
is
say,
it?
I've heard of Bandcamp,
I'm
but not
into,
Bandmix.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's it called?
Swiping through trying to find your perfect match.
Yeah.
Is it actually like that?
Yeah.
Well,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
A little bit, yeah. I made a profile in like college when I was in LA, and then that's what Saeed found me that way, years before the Mox, and then they found me through that, and then I brought in Saeed 'cause I was like, that's my first love from Tinder. So
Yes, Lord. That's crazy. So, what kind of music do you guys make? I was listening to you guys for the last day and a half. I love the music.
Thank you.
For those at home who don't know, what can they expect when they listen to the Mox?
Heat. It's
Straight heat.
what I like to do is make music that feels like you're in a music festival. And no matter where we're playing, if we're playing in a small pub or if we're playing like in a bigger show, I just want to make you jump and feel it. And I think that we do that pretty well. And I like to focus on storytelling a lot in my music. And it's more of like an overarching storytelling, like stuff with this album. There's a whole concept to it. This is a concept album, and everything that I write kind of fits in its own like puzzle piece to the bigger picture of what hopefully 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line will be something really cool that you can like take a look at.
I
as
love
a
it.
whole.
I love it. You kind of touched on something at the end. I had a message from one of my Discord users who's a part of our community. They wanted to ask you guys, what's the ultimate goal with the band? Because a lot of people have completely different goals. It could be cover bands. It could be, nationwide tours. It could be international, What's the goal with the Mox? Is there one right now?
We're trying to take over the world, man.
Hell yeah.
I
Take it all the way,
think
for sure.
there's this, I don't know, just take this music that we all love and we all kind of grew up on and push it as far as we can and just show love to all the things that brought us here. And it's been a long road, and now we have a lot of people that count on us and believe in us. So now it's just kind of like we want to show them that all their faith was put in the right place.
I love that. I love that. And so right now, what does the inspiration come from? At least in making this new album. Are you guys inspired by anything specific? Is it stories from your life? What's kind of getting you guys over the line to be like, this is our work?
Yeah, so well, this particular album and this story I wrote when I was in high school. So I've been working on this for a long time. And it's kind of throughout the years it's changed a lot. with what my life has become and the things that I've lived. So it's kind of a combination of experiences in my life mixed with certain things that I felt. Actually, like a big part of what originated this idea of Sorry for Your Loss is a dream that I had a couple times. It was weird, but it was this kind of like not the dream was reoccurring, but there was a certain idea in this dream. And every time I passed by a reflection, I would see like this other figure. And I took that and I made him this character that I kind of play in a way.
Mm.
And that's kind of going through my life as if I have, you know, the Vince Spano that people knew from back in my hometown and the guy that I'm on stage.
Fuck yeah, I love it. Well, I'm excited to hear it, as I'm sure everyone else is at home as well.
Thank you.
So right now, what does the creative process look like? Because we are in the studio.
We are in the room
in the
where
room.
it happens.
Yeah, it's a crazy setup. You can't really see the whole thing, but we try to get our best. But I'm fucking with it heavy.
Good. Looks good.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
Oh, Vince brought a lot of the songs with him, right? Like he said, he wrote a lot of like the story when he was a little bit younger. He's still the youngest in the band, but he's a little bit younger. And then we were in a different place before, physically, before we had Saeed, and we were practicing most of these songs, right? But
Yeah.
there was a few that we ended up cutting out, and there's also a few that we ended up adding once we got this group together. And for the current album that's coming out on March 27th, we wrote at least one or two songs together
Mm-hmm.
here in this room, and then the future songs, they've all been written in here, and it's mostly been like a group conversation. I think like I have an idea, Alex got a bunch of ideas, I have a few ideas, Vince's got a lot of ideas, and then Saeed's got some drum ideas. We start with something, like bring it to the group. Hey, what does this sound like? And then someone's got an idea off of that, and then we could just like do voice recordings and
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun. It's been like a new experience for me to write with the group, because before that I used to write just all the songs by myself. So it's been really cool just being able to play with these guys and see what they can do with like an idea that I had, or what we can do with like a drum or bass or guitar riff that they come up with.
Yeah.
But it's been really cool.
Yeah, we just bring new ideas like every week that we practice. Like, what you got? What you come up with over the last couple days?
Perfect.
Yeah.
So an interesting thing, 'cause I'm a fashion designer. I basically work by myself, and like everyone who does something by themselves, I'm a photographer, videographer, whatever it may be. You may think you have to work by yourself, but I offer up the idea that, like, you should join a metaphorical band where like you and your best friends are all workshopping ideas together
Yeah.
and like trying to go back and forth. Like, hey, I made this hat idea. What do you guys think? Do you guys think it's more conducive to work in a room where like you're with people, or do you think it's better to like focus on the art by yourself and then, you know, come into a room with the thing done?
I think different ideas have like different ways of coming together. You know, so some ideas like you might have it mostly fleshed out on your own, and you kind of come in and, you know, what do y'all think about this, and then tweak it a little bit. And then sometimes you have like maybe a smaller idea. You're like, oh, let's build this up together. You know, so I think it can different ways of coming together. You know.
Yeah. I think it depends on how presentable the idea is. I feel like a lot of songs I won't show to them because I just don't think that they're that good, but there could be something. But and I gotta sit on them a little more and figure out the little details before I'm like, hey, I just did this, check it out, what do you guys think? And they'll either like it or they won't like it. But I think it does depend on whatever piece it is. But I think for sure an extra set of eyes is good.
Yeah.
I think when you have like a core group of people that all kind of know where each other's heads are at and know what kind of message you're trying to convey with whatever it is, it can pull you or push you in the direction where you should be going.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it is important to have like the idea set at least by yourself.
Yeah.
Like you validate yourself, but then to get the feedback from other people and like open up the door to like this idea could go somewhere else versus just being for me, you know? I think art's meant to be enjoyed. That's
For sure.
my opinion. I think people holding on to songs for like years and years and years serves a purpose if you want to make them better. But some people just be like, oh, I don't want to put it out, you know?
Yeah, for
In my opinion, it's just fuck it. At least send it to your friends. See if there's validation there
Yeah.
or something you can work on, or like
Yeah.
a feedback you can get and be like,
For sure.
I fucking knew I should have done that differently. Let me go back to the drawing board and then put it out. How do you guys feel about just general goals for the band? I know you said you want to take over the world, but are you guys, motivated by like streams? Is that kind of like what defines success for you guys, or is it, a little bit more personal or about the music at this point in the game for you guys?
I feel like it's different for maybe each of us individually.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all like to see the band do well,
Mhm.
and I mean we all have jobs, and we all also play in this band, and we meet weekly, and we try to play live shows as often as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So I think to a small like worst case scenario, if nothing happens, it's been a lot of fun, and it'll still be fun. And best case scenario, we play more and more gigs around Austin, around Texas, around the country, and see what happens. But either way, it's just like you're happy or you're really happy. Either way, it's still it's still a good time.
Yeah, it's all
Anything
you
you
really
wanna
hope
add?
for is just like having a good time and coming to shows and like seeing people enjoying music at a live show.
I think that's the thing that has been at least my measurement of how this is going is the people that come to our shows. We just did 2 kind of back-to-back shows here in Austin. We did one in Valhalla and one in Hotel Vegas. And both of those just blew my mind with how, for one, how many people came out and also just how many of them enjoyed it and were singing back the songs that we put out that didn't exist a couple months ago, and now that they know the words to her. They're just the energy that they give off is like, I don't know, more than any stream really, because that's right there. That's when you feel whether or not they like that song or maybe not. Maybe that one didn't work, but I think that's like that instant kind of gratification that you don't really get with a stream or a follow.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Did you have one?
Oh.
The mic got passed.
Nah, you just pass it to me for some reason. No, I think it's just about having fun. I mean, like I think Carl said it good. In the end, if nothing happens, it's a lot of fun. You get to fuck off from work for a little bit and
Yeah.
just lose yourself behind the kit, and especially the kid. I think I have crazy fun here, just banging shit. So
Yeah.
So take out the anger on this and just if we were to reach certain heights, that would be just dream shit, right? But
At least have
just
fun.
just
you know?
fun, right?
Yeah.
No doubt.
So I'll pose the question to you first, because I'll ask everyone. How do we feel about Austin? If you're from here, or if you got brought here from somewhere else, how do you feel about Austin and the scene here?
Actually, I'm the only one that's born and raised here out of the guys. And so far, I think it's good, but I don't know. I feel like lately it's been hard to play here. It's been hard to reach out to people. It's been hard to get shows. So I wonder how it is everywhere. I wonder if it's easier to play other places or if it's everywhere. But I don't know. I guess that just means we gotta pop off more, right? But
Yeah.
Carl, what do you think? Take it.
I'm from California. It's not easy to play in California. There's not a lot of like venues in like the Bay Area. There's a couple,
Mhm.
but like there was a jazz club I liked, and then it closed down. But in Austin, there's so many. There's never gonna be like a limited supply because you've got Dirty, you've got West, you've got Rainy, you've got all these places that, they're changing, but there's a lot of venues that are never gonna go away, like Stubbs. It's probably not gonna go away. And I think that I wouldn't want to be anywhere else to play. Like, I feel like Nashville might be really competitive and like too hustle and bustle. Like, relax, just enjoy, And I feel like Austin's got a better laid back. Like, hey, if you're good, you'll get recognized and
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I think it's kind of like a double-edged sword because on the one hand there are quite a few good bands, good places to play here, but it can be difficult to like get shows sometimes and to like get people to come out to those shows. I think if the community was maybe just a bit more tighter knit, it would really benefit the scene as a whole.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's very vast. I'm from a pretty small town originally, so this is to me a huge change coming to a big city like this. Even though some people don't even think this is a big city, but to me it's kind of crazy. But for me, the scene is so vast and so huge that when I first got here, I didn't really know where to even begin. And this is really the first music city that I've been to, that I've lived in. I'm from Brownsville, Texas, which is like the southernmost point of Texas. And we had a very, very small, but it was a tight-knit kind of music scene. It was just like 4 or 5 bands, and we were all in high school, and we would all just like shut down the street downtown, set up a stage, and we would play there. And then because it's a small town, there's nothing else to do. Everybody comes out and just comes and has fun. And it was like this big community. We had like vendors and all that. So I think that was really cool, and I would like for something like that to exist here. And I don't know if it does or not, but if it does, we haven't quite found it yet, just because it's vast. And it's a good thing for it to be this big and for it to be, I don't know, but we're not fighting for limited slots here, I don't think.
That's good, at least.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing. I think also because all these other bands that we played with, they come from San Antonio, they come from Houston, they come from Dallas, and you know, being in the spot of like kind of the center of Texas, I feel like it's a good spot to be in because we got all those cities where we can go play.
It is kind of a good point. We're literally in the middle of everything.
Yeah.
So if you do have a cool opportunity in Houston, fuck it. It's like a 4-hour drive there and back. Like, you know, really easy. So if there was one thing you guys could change about the scene to like help out with like you guys or other acts, what would it be? Do you guys have like a thing? You know what I mean? More venues or something like that?
I think that there's a lot of opportunity for things to be as big as they do it in Nashville, but for some reason I don't think we've quite gotten there yet, or as big as they do it in LA, because I feel like we have a lot of people, a lot of creative people, a lot of great bands, and a lot of like great promoters and venues. I just feel like nobody's really taken the kind of the bull by the horn and been like, I'm going to build this, and this is going to be, you know, the big fucking record label of Austin, Texas, or this is going to be the big production, you know, company where we got all these big shows. Like, there's a lot of, like
just bring it all together.
Yeah.
Like to tie everything together.
There's a lot of cool little things that happen here in Austin, but there's not, like, I don't know, that big thing that is like grown here, because there's a lot of big things that come and go, but they're from outside. It's like, you know, the people South by Southwest is really big here, but that's all the people that are coming from outside coming in and building the stuff here, and then they leave. And ACL, they build that and then they leave. Like, there's not that one thing that's like, you know, this is Austin's Music Row.
Yeah.
I've got an idea for you, Vince. Okay, so you know how Kill Tony started out, you know, it's kind of small. It's pretty big now.
Yeah,
it's
for
huge
sure.
now.
What if there was a Kill Tony? Here's I'll speak to the camera, in case somebody wants to start this. We need a Kill Tony, but for music. So you come on stage, you play one song, and then like Paramore is the guest, and they're like, yeah, you could do this, you could do that, you know what I mean? And then the next one comes on. All right, one song. Okay, that's pretty good. We'll give you like a shot, you know?
So like a live crowd American Idol, but for bands.
But less so American Idol, where they're like gonna go through like levels, but more like
an event-based one.
Yeah, but the same idea. Yeah, it gets you on something.
Like have a panel of like a fucking insane band.
Yeah, but the band changes each like month or whatever.
That's not a bad
That'd
idea,
be crazy.
man.
Take it and run with it.
Yeah,
I would like
honestly.
10%.
10%.
To your point, that's what I hope to do with my brand. I want my thing starting as clothing, and then we're evolving into a podcast, into like different ways to help every genre of art. So like actual artists, poets, photographers, videographers, exotic fish collectors. Who gives a fuck? Like, I want to help everyone here kind of like mix and mingle and like find ways. Like, you guys may like need lyrics, you guys can't think of any, and you guys meet a poet who's like super sick.
Yeah.
He comes to take pictures for you because he's down for multiple things. And then you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's where so many things happen right in like LA or New York, is like you're probably in a room with people who have worked at like Eric Johnson's recording studio, or like, you know, crazy shit all the time. People have these insane backgrounds. Like, oh, I met A$AP Rocky, I styled for Rihanna, I did all this shit, you know? And I think that's why New York is like so highly regarded, or LA too, because the room's already filled with these people.
Yeah. So
I think my job is to like start these rooms up where like the Mox meets my buddy Braden, who's an amazing photographer, or meets the runway stylists, or meets, you know, anyone who's like popping here. Matthew McConaughey, for fuck's sake, you know? So, and hopefully that transitions to like a label and shit.
Yeah, I mean,
Actually,
that'd
I
be
actually will say
insane.
this now. I have an insane idea for an album, and
Okay.
eventually one day I want to do it. So
Yeah.
if this pops off and I can look back, this would be sick. I want to do a song, or I want to do an album where it's all one song.
Okay.
It's like 10 different. It's the same song, same title, but everyone gets the same lyrics, but everyone has their own genre. So like I'll get a reggae artist, a country artist, you guys,
Right.
a rapper,
Yeah.
someone to just because I think in life we all sing the same song, but we're all singing it through our different genres, whether it be the
Okay.
photos, the videos, the clothes.
Yeah.
It's all the same kind of like this is my story, you know.
Yeah.
Here's my mark. And so I want to do an album where it's literally just one song, just constantly over and over again. I think it'd be cool to see people's different iterations
Yeah,
on it.
That'd
so
be that'd be really cool.
stay tuned for that. But that's a huge like moonshot idea I have for like way
Yeah.
down the line when I'm popping. I can get you guys or other people like all on an album together. Would be insane.
You just
Yeah,
like write a
absolutely.
song like chord-wise, like on a piece of paper, and then like the lyrics on a piece of paper, and let everyone interpret it.
Exactly.
own way.
Yeah. Here's the chord progression. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Go crazy. It could be
Yeah.
10 minutes. It could be 3. Like whatever. Just here's the lyrics. You know.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Go
That sounds like
ambient
fun.
as fuck or go crazy reggae. Like I'm a huge reggae guy. Like
Yeah.
that's my shit. So that's a crazy
Yeah.
idea I have. We'll see. You know, life's all about little crazy ideas. So.
Where's
Yeah.
that bottle at?
So we've talked a little bit about Austin. We talked about your guys' backstory and everything like that. Let's talk about the future of the Mox. So I know we talked about the theme of the album. What have been some challenges in making this album or things you guys had to like work through, overcome in getting this thing finished?
There's been quite a few. Well,
It's been a long time
yeah,
coming.
it's been a long time coming. Like I said, I've been working on this album for years.
Yeah.
And this album has had a lot of different iterations. Originally, when I first came to Austin, I couldn't find a band, so I was just doing it solo. And I made like an EP and was like making the songs, kind of recording them at like little studio. I still didn't really know the good studios here with the good like engineers, so I was just kind of like trying things. It didn't quite work out or come out the way that I wanted it to, and then when I finally got the band started, we went kind of like a DIY sort of way and recorded it ourselves and mixed it. That didn't come out really the way that I wanted to either, or the way that I envisioned it. And then, you know, we tried with a couple different engineers before we landed on Vic, which is our guy. Shout out.
Shout out, Vic.
And yeah, it was years and years of just trial and error. And I mean, kind of in a good way, because now it finally came out exactly the way that we all thought it could, and in the best way possible. And, you know, if I would have put this album out by myself 3 years ago, I really don't think anybody would have listened to it. But now that the Mox has become, you know, something, and people actually kind of care about it, and we're blown away by the responses of everybody when we announced the album, I think, you know, now is the perfect time with the perfect moment with the perfect people. It just took time and just trying it over and over again until it worked.
Hell yeah. I love it. Any other thoughts about this album, what it took to kind of get it together and bring it out to fruition?
I mean, the production was definitely a challenge, but it gave us all a chance to kind of like put our own sound into it. Maybe not necessarily like notes-wise, but tones-wise, you know, production-wise, and really get it to sound the way we wanted it to, you know, versus like, you know, sometimes you'll hear an artist and maybe the production isn't like quite there and it sounds like such a great song, but maybe like just like some rough production spots. I think that's like kind of one of the things I enjoy a lot too, is like upping the production quality.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I think it's been interesting. It's been fun because again, we all have different ears and different ideas, and we all have different musical backgrounds. Like Saeed might be like, "Oh, should we try some like timbales on this one?" And it's fun to try things, and it's even better when things work. And I think we've all had ideas that just like, let's not do that one. But we also have a lot of ideas where we're like, let's do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
And it's been cool to see how we started with recording 2 songs, because we had an opportunity to do a video game that came out, a Tony Hawk Skater, whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You guys are in a Stony Hawk
We were
game?
gonna be.
We're gonna
They
be-
cut us last second.
No, dude.
There was too many songs, and
Yeah.
ours wasn't fully finished yet, so like it wasn't like the best. It wasn't what it is now. It wasn't,
Yeah.
wasn't there. Yeah, they needed a better soundtrack, but
They
They
need to
need to
bite
bite
down on
down.
the soundtrack.
But
Yeah.
so that
was
was
it Bite Down?
that was
Bite
what got
Down.
us.
I fucking love that
recording.
song.
Thank you.
That's my favorite song of y'all's, 100%.
Thank you.
I love it.
That was the first one we like rushed to get recorded,
Yeah.
and then it
Yeah.
kind of got us excited to record the rest. And we had our sound guy in Vic, and then we were like, well, how many more can we do in one day? Can we do 4 in a day? Can we do 5 in a day?
Yeah.
We just knocked it out like pretty quickly, I'd say.
Yeah, in the studio it was pretty quick. We would knock out like 4 or 5 songs a day.
But it wasn't just like immediately easy. Like we already had all of them recorded in some way.
Well rehearsed
Yeah.
as well.
And
Yeah.
so we could show our engineer, this is how the song goes. Here's the beginning,
Yeah.
and here's the end. And then we would, be able to track the drums with a metronome and start with the drums, then get the bass, and then get the guitars, and that took forever. And then get the vocals in. But it took a long time to get each song finished, but
Yeah.
we knew how to play them at that point.
Yeah, I think we'd already been playing them at shows, these songs, for like almost a year before we actually got into the studio, which is kind of the case with a lot of this new stuff that we're making now. 'Cause this album is just coming out now. We've already been working on a lot of like new stuff that we've been playing at shows and
Yeah.
testing out. So I think like the next time around, it's gonna be a pretty similar kind of feel where we all just kind of know the songs.
Just way ahead of the game
Yeah.
as far as writing goes.
Yeah, and now we're doing demos. We're trying to do our own demos, just for us,
Mm-hmm.
Because when we recorded our, like, for example, there's a song coming out which we've played live a couple of times now. Can we see the name of it, Vince?
Which one? Oh yeah.
Alright.
It's out. It's gonna be out by the time this comes out.
Oh yeah. Well, there's a song that's coming out today. That's called Television. That proudly I wrote the song, except for the lyrics. And we all worked together on it, and it's one of my favorites for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
It's
But
my- it's
then
my
we
favorite.
didn't really think about how to record it, other than just the song we already had. And now we've played it a bunch more. We have ideas. Oh, if we could have done this differently, we would have done this differently. Like for a live intro, we tried a live intro, and it made the song way better. But it's not going to be on the album. But if you come see us live, you'll see it. So there's things like that we're trying to like flesh out with the demo now. So moving
Yeah.
forward, how do we improve on our process? Okay, we'll have a demo where we can practice it till we hate it, and then if we love it, still great. We'll put it out.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
television. I think we wrote that a few days or like the day before we went. Yeah, we wrote that like a few days or like a day before we went to the studio for the first time,
Yeah.
and then we kind of just like really did the whole song in like 1 or 2 practice sessions, and then we were like, hey, we're gonna add this to the writing or to the recording list. So we kind of just got in there, did it like on the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
But I guess the downside to like a last second edition is like he was saying, there's elements that you come across later down the road that you're like, we should have put that in the song, just didn't get the chance to do it.
I still love that song though.
Yeah,
I
it's
feel
It's
like,
so
yeah.
good.
I feel like it came out perfect.
It really did.
But it was definitely the quickest I've ever experienced a song not existing to existing completely in its final form.
Mhm.
Like I've
Wicked.
never had anything like
Yeah, it was just
that
too
fast.
strong. It was it's very much like the Mox song. Like,
Mhm.
yeah.
Like, yeah.
I don't
It-
think we planned it, right? I don't think we planned writing a song, did we?
No,
No,
Were we
I-
trying to add one?
Came back with a bass line, and I was like, "What do you think of this bass line?"
And they were like, damn, we gotta add that
Yeah,
shit,
we
right?
just all hopped in.
Well, it's because I had a song
Yeah.
that,
Oh,
that
that's
we were gonna
right.
put on the album,
We replaced it.
and then we played it. I had it, and that's another thing that like is cool.
Screens
about,
or some shit, right? Wasn't it? Or
It's called
something?
television.
Oh,
Same
was it
thing.
called television?
Yeah. But
Not anymore.
I thought it was a good song. I had written it, but it wasn't until we played it that I was like, nah,
Yeah.
it's not it. And then I was like, well,
Any ideas?
Any
And
ideas?
then Carl comes up.
he played that
Yeah,
bass
We
line.
just layered it.
Mhm. And then we just all.
Kind of snowballed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, that is
Awesome.
like the beauty of
Yeah.
like working with people.
Yeah.
The next part of the conversation we'll get into is like what you would do if you had to start again and all like the creativity shit.
Oof.
But like, man, I think like people like just like you're stuck on something like fuck, I don't know what to write, and then Carl comes in with a sick bass line and like automatically
that's
like
the beauty of being
Yeah.
with a band.
you
dude.
can like that is the beauty. And I think again, I think metaphorically everyone should kind of try to be in a band at least to like get that. Those like roadblocks will come so much quicker. You'll get over them so much faster
For sure.
Yeah.
when you realize, oh fuck, like that bass line is perfect. Now I know how to write on it.
Yeah.
You know, versus just trying to speak to the ether and be like, what the fuck do I do? You know.
But you also gotta know when to like let go of a song.
For sure.
Like after
Yeah.
a while.
Yeah.
'Cause after a while, you're like, man, I should have changed the drums. Let me go back in there, and you're never gonna stop. You're
It's like
gonna,
a decent idea, but it's just not hitting quite.
you're just gonna find, you're always gonna find different shit that you can improve it with. I mean, you don't think the Chili Peppers are doing that to their songs that are 20 years old? You don't think they're like trying to, I could have done this better.
Yeah.
I think at one point you just gotta let it go, right?
Yeah.
That's the important part.
Yeah. How important
That's true.
is it to like just get the song out versus like trying to be perfect with it? Because I feel like as a designer, I want to be perfect with shit so much, I can't even like bother releasing it until it's like exactly what I want. Because of course, working with multiple people might be hard to be like, I want the bass to sound this perfect, and then he might be like, no, the guitar needs to be over it a little bit. You need to subchain it or sidechain it, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
You know, where's that kind of balance?
Let's
come
let
from,
Alec
like,
take this one. He's the perfectionist.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm always the one who's in the studio. Like, now we gotta make sure this is extra.
If he's
On
on
the
his
dot.
if he's on his Adderall, you know.
I got ADHD, man.
If he says I'm not hungry today, you know.
you're in for a treat.
It's gonna be a long day.
We're
Yeah.
gonna be in there a long time.
Hey, you know what? But a lot of the crazy ideas, they just worked.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
So-
But
I
I think like the perfectionist is kind of like a stylistic choice, because if you want to be really, really perfect and you want to be super clean, crisp, that's kind of like a stylistic choice versus if you want to be a little more raw, a little more less produced. That could also be a stylistic choice that just works
Yeah.
for some people. And I guess it's just kind of like understanding your own sound and where that is going to fit best production-wise in your sounds.
Yeah. Who's an example of like a really produced band? 'Cause I'm thinking of like unproduced bands. I think like the Misfits were like back in their old day,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
so rough. Like
Yeah,
it's the best shit ever.
Yeah.
You know?
Mhm.
So there is a balance every band needs to find between like how much do you want to take it to that perfectionist level where it's like
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
I feel like
I
the-
think like you just have to keep it as human as possible. But in our end, we're pretty like we're not super DIY and dingy as like a band. Just because it's not our sound. We've tried it. It just wasn't what we are as a band. Our sound is a little crisper, but we also kind of don't want to get so caught up in trying to make things perfect that we're like, taking away the human aspect of a band. Because I know a lot of music and a lot of bands that started off really cool and really just a band and now are hardly one.
Yeah. It's interesting. I think to sum that up, I'd say it's probably just do the best work you guys can do, and just kind of at a certain point don't try to do more than you guys are gifted with.
Yeah,
Right?
do as much as is still. Obviously do it as best as you can and push yourself to do it better,
Mhm.
but keep your soul in it.
yeah.
I think there's like
Yeah.
a point that you hit where you're trying to chase perfection, but like you realize that
Don't copy my joke.
like trying to do more is only going to make a tiny little difference. You're getting to the point where like you're trying to make changes to make a tiny little difference.
Mhm.
I think that's kind of when you have to be like, okay, I think it's done right here.
You can always practice more.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But like when we go in to record, okay, if we know what songs we're gonna record, okay, I'm gonna nail my part the best I can. And when I get in there, I'm gonna have an idea what I want the bass tone to sound like, or guitar tone, or
Yeah.
drums, whatever. And focusing on one thing at a time, right? Like I'm not gonna be nitpicky about the way that Vince's vocals sound unless it's like we don't like it.
Mhm.
Which we've told him before one time.
Yes, sir.
But it wasn't it was like a stylistic choice he was trying. We're like, don't do that. But I think like perfection is impossible in music until it's like realized. Like someone could say this album is perfect,
Yeah.
but who's to say that the artist said this is perfect when they put it out? I think it's subjective a
Mhm.
little bit what perfection is, and I think you just got to try your best.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right.
So I'll get into my next question then. So now I want to help the people at home kind of figure out their musical journey, right? There's a lot of people who want to make music. I made music my whole life pretty much. I was in bands. I produced on Ableton. I did a bunch of different shit.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't really have that confidence to put out their first single or to even find a band or go on Facebook and like, kind of have that like, I'm forgetting the word for it, but that no ego to like be like, fuck it, I want to find a band. I'm going to do it,
Mhm.
So can you give the people at home from any sort of realm, some advice from when you're first trying to start your music career. Do you do it solo? Is there anything that you would fuck up on that you recommend they don't do, like going crazy and spending a lot of money on a guitar or something like that?
Well,
Any advice? Because I remember I wanted to get a Les Paul forever, and I saved up for it, and I didn't even want it at the end of it. Like,
Wow.
yeah, like there's different things like that. I bought an Ibanez, and I didn't like that either. So I was like, but different advice like that you guys can share with the people at home.
The one big thing is that you can't let time keep passing you by, because it will. And the world will forget about you if you never actually do it. And you'll just be left with, the what ifs. So just start. Just do it. Put out whatever it is that you have. And if it sucks, it sucks. And then you'll go back to the drawing board and do it again. And do it again 1,000 times until it's you. And then when you find the sound that is your own, take it as far as you can.
Amen. Amen. That is literally the entire thesis of this podcast. It's just like, man, just get out there and try.
Yeah. Because I wish for years, I always feel like I'm running out of time. And I always feel a lot older than I am.
Which is crazy because
Yeah.
it's like 17.
But I'm always like, damn, I wish I would have done this a couple years ago. I wish I would have changed that, and I wish I would have done things kind of differently. And years have definitely passed, but just keep doing it. Just keep pushing. I can't do anything about it then, so I'm gonna just push as far as I can now.
Yeah,
all
the
you can
past
ask
is
for.
gone. I mean, all that matters is today. That's all that's here is today. So
Yeah, but don't
don't keep putting it off.
don't end up like me when it's like, oh,
And
man,
don't
I
be
would've
scared to
done this.
fail. I think it's the
Yeah,
important
it's-
thing. I mean,
Yeah.
it's gonna sound like shit. I mean, I can show you a recording of me playing drums when I was in high school, and it's bad.
And if you
So
join-
you just gotta keep going. You just gotta keep trying, and it'll be fun in the end.
Yeah, and if you join a band, typically you get better together. Like
For
playing
sure.
in a band is a skill on itself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you can be a really good bedroom guitar player or whatever,
Yeah.
and then you go into a band setting and maybe it takes some adjustment, or maybe you're still learning guitar and you find somebody who's learning their instrument too, and you guys get better together and you form your sound together. There's so many different ways. Like plenty of bands have come together just like that, where it's guys who just were learning their instruments together, ended up getting really good together, and ended up becoming big shots. I think a couple bands like the Arctic Monkeys were doing that. Like they just started learning together.
Interesting. There's so many ways to go about it, I'd say.
Yeah.
There's so many ways. And I think, again, to the point earlier, is like just do the best you and your humans can do that are in the same room,
Yeah.
Whether it is just learning everything together or just like perfecting things, just doing it, man. So,
Yeah. There's no one way to do any of this art shit.
No, there
Yeah.
really isn't.
So just try it and
yeah.
try again, and you'll fail 1,000
It's better
times,
to
but
try and fail.
you'll win once.
Yeah.
And
All you
that'll
need is
be it.
one.
Yeah.
You never hear the story of the guy who like risked it all and like lost because they haven't stopped yet.
Yeah.
They just keep going until it's like
Yeah.
eventually a W. Then you'll hear the crazy story. He's an overnight success. It's like, well, he was in 15 fucking bands.
Yeah. Yeah, every overnight success has 10 years behind them.
Yeah,
10 years
like
of hard work that nobody saw.
yeah, it's wicked. So for the people at home who are in bands specifically or already kind of starting the music, they already know the instruments. So just kind of put that. That's like there's already YouTube videos for that. In a band specifically, have there been any challenges in like forming the band or like road bumps that people will go through that you guys are like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like things you guys already went through that you're like, fuck, they shouldn't go through this.
It's hard to
Yeah.
form a band. It's hard to find the people.
Mhm.
It's something that's not easy. It took me a lot of years to find these guys, but like it's kind of really just like the right place, right time. I feel like if I would have even found these exact 3 other guys 2 years ago, it probably wouldn't have been the same,
Yeah.
because everybody's like wasn't ready for it then, or had something else going on, or was in something completely different. It was just kind of like that was the moment that I found them, and that was the moment that they were ready to take this on, and that was the moment that we decided to keep it going. So you can't get discouraged when like certain people fall through, or you're not finding anybody. It's just not time yet. And it's just you just have to keep trying, and eventually it will be time. And
Yeah.
that moment, it'll all start to kind of roll.
100%.
And finding the personalities and the attitudes that match yours, you know. And if you're in a band, if you get four people together, and maybe one person shares the same ideals, and the other two maybe just don't, and then eventually maybe one of them will leave, and you bring somebody else in, and maybe sometimes it just takes a couple different tries to get the right group together, just based off goals, aspirations, that kind of thing, sound, styles,
creative differences.
Yeah.
I've been in bands before this in Austin with this guy and with other people. And the first band I was with was great. It was a cover band. It was a lot of fun. And then joined with Saeed. And I don't know. There was two people in the band that wanted to go do really big things. And it'd be cool to do that. But we had like 2 original songs that we had like finished and not recorded. And they got like an offer to go to like Arizona. And they were like, what if we do a tour? I said, stop yourself. What are you talking about? And that's been my experience. A lot of bands I've joined, they're like trying to go too big too fast instead of appreciating the moment that you're in. And I think that's what stops a lot of bands. It's like, oh, let's dump a bunch of money into like a producer or like some like management like off the bat. Like, you don't even have a song yet. Relax. So I've seen that happen a bunch, and so it's helped me to calm down in that space. And then I think just a challenge that we face sometimes is just like creative differences. Like what I like isn't always what Alec likes or what Saeed likes, and so we have to find the balance of what we all know we like.
Yeah.
And I feel like whatever we all know we like becomes our sound that people will then understand in the next 2 albums, right? They'll be like, this is the Mox, because they all like the sound, and then if they like that sound too, then great.
Hell yeah. How important is it? Do you think this is kind of a weird one to ask because I don't really know how to word it, but like, how important is it to either agree or disagree in a band? Because I feel like the creative differences are like,
How y'all looking at me?
I feel like creative differences are gonna be like the main thing that people go through.
Yeah.
You know, like I want this based on it to be harder. You know what I mean? And then someone's not budging on it. You know, how important is it to get through those fucking like,
I mean, creative
things.
differences are gonna happen. If you have
Yeah.
4 completely different people from 4 completely different backgrounds, especially if you have more people in the band, I can't imagine. But like, yeah, creative differences are bound to happen because you're not all the same person. So you can't get hung up. I feel like you just kind of gotta pick your battles. Sometimes if you really feel really strongly on something and you feel like this something could be better for the overall, not just the one thing, but the overall record or the song as a whole. Then that might be something you'd want to stand your ground on, but you also can't just bitch about everything because it's like, okay, well sometimes you just gotta let some things go, because otherwise you're not gonna move.
Yeah.
But I think you just kind of gotta gauge yourself in what is important in the large scheme of things and what really isn't. What is really truly for the band and what is really truly just for your ego.
Yeah.
That you're trying to,
Without a doubt. How important is it when you guys write music? Are you guys considering the artist, or like you guys, or are you guys considering the consumer? Are you guys like trying to write music, not write the music for them, but like, are you considering that in the way you write music, or is it completely us? And then if it goes out,
Us.
I think it depends on who you ask, but I don't care what Joe thinks. I don't know who Joe is, but that guy is a dick, so.
Yeah, I think it starts with us, right? I mean, I think our job is to try to make the best songs we can, and if they don't do anything, then it's fine. We have fun, but if it does something, if it goes and sells out, yeah, fuck it, that's great.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
hopefully it does that. Hopefully it can resonate with people, but in the end, I think it's us more importantly, right?
Yeah. I don't really keep that in mind at all. I just really I write what I'm wanting to write at the moment, and whether sometimes it doesn't even reflect how I feel like at all, but it just was that moment, and then we make it what we make it, or like it becomes what it becomes. And I'm really big on like, if they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. And it's not It doesn't make it bad unless it's like just bad. But I don't think it would have gotten to the stage of being in the studio and released if it was like truly just a bad idea. Because ultimately, you go one way, everybody's gonna want you to go the other way, and then you turn the other way, and everybody's gonna want, like, you're never gonna please everybody. So just make the art that you want to make and tell the stories that you want to tell. Some people are gonna like it, some people are gonna hate it. It's just how it is.
Yeah, you can't win everyone over.
Yeah.
That's a fact. So I agree. I think make the best music you can and just, that's it. How important is it, or not how important, sorry. What made you guys want to get into a band versus doing, like, solo stuff? Did you guys get the allure of a band and, like, tour life or anything like that? Or was that, like, what was, like, the motivating factor to be in a band?
I think it's cool to have like a collaborative environment. It's more fun, at least in my opinion. Bands are pretty fun to be in, especially if you guys are all on the same page. This mic is driving me crazy. I won't stay
Well, I'm a drummer too, so a drummer has to find people. What the fuck am I gonna do with this? Yo?
I'm like, who am I, Victor Wooten? No.
I mean, but bass is a little easier. Drums, I mean, you have to be really good, which I am. But you know,
Yeah, bass is pretty easy, man. Drums is
it's hard though. Yeah, it's definitely. Yeah, what else am I gonna do? Damn it.
I definitely I wanted to be in a band from the start. I've been a solo artist, so I kind of know both sides of what making a project is like, being in a band versus being a solo artist. I prefer being in a band, all the way, because I feel like it takes kind of you as a person out of the equation completely, and the music that you'd make and these videos and the art and the concept that we make, it's not just me. It's it falls now behind an idea of what this sound is. What is the Mox? It's this. It's not me. And there's a cool thing about that, because I don't know. I think I can, at the end of the day, kind of take that hat off and be, Vince Spano and not be the Mox. I think that there's a cool, like, kind of duality of, like, that you get to live in. That's kind of cool because you don't always have to take everything with you at all times.
Yeah.
While being being a solo artist, I feel like you are that, and it is cool, and it is like what I am, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm making any sense at all.
No, I'm trying to figure some piece it together.
Yeah.
So, like,
band dynamic with a solo artist versus like a band.
That too. It's just like I can't imagine doing this with just by myself or with any other four guys. I think
He loves us.
Yeah, I love these guys. These guys are great.
yeah. So I think the Mox exists when you guys are together.
Yeah.
And then, like, when you guys are separate, it's like that is like a testament of what you guys are able to create when you're in the room together.
Yeah.
Or in these engineering things, or hitting the fucking wall trying to make something happen.
Yeah,
you know? And I think that is a good duality to have. I think that is a good allure of the band versus, like, the dream of, like, I'm gonna be on stage like fucking Ozzy was, or like whoever.
And that's cool. I mean, like,
Yeah.
Pull it off.
yeah. I think there's plenty of great solo artists that I love and I listen to all the time. I just think.
I guess
I
it
mean,
depends on the artist. Yeah, some
Yeah.
people just want to be solo. Some people just work better solo.
Yeah. And I think, again, it's still like, even if you are solo, you still have to go to the engineering session.
Yeah.
I feel like, and this could just be me, but I feel like there's a lot more pressure on you to, like, deliver all the best work. When, again, like we said earlier, like, he may have a sick bass line that you never even thought of, and you're like,
He does.
now I can write. And I feel like that's where so much of the greatness of music happens, when you're in a fucking room and it's just open and you just think of things. Like that Beatles documentary. Have you seen that, where they're just like throwing around random keys and then like something starts and it's like come together?
Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
crazy.
It's insane, and that's like what I think the beauty of life is. When we're all together, there's so much great things that can happen.
For sure.
And of course, like, but if you look at like The Weeknd, he's like a solo artist, or anyone who's like a solo artist. It's like, do you know how many people engineered that? Do you know how many people, like,
yeah.
You got a team full of songwriters making those tracks.
So I think even the solo artists are in the metaphorical band, of just collaborating and working with people and stuff. But yeah, so what's kind of like the, I guess I want to say like next step. Is there like a tour coming on after the album? Is there anything else? I know you said you guys have those demos coming out. Is that something you guys are, working for and working towards, or is it getting out in public more and where do you guys creatively see yourself after this album?
Getting out as much as we can. We don't have a tour booked yet, but I am definitely working on that, getting us on the road. I want to show this record to as many people that'll listen. And we have a lot of new music that's ready. That we gotta go into the studio and make happen. We have a movie coming out with the story of this record.
Yeah.
And yes, the concept of this album is being put into a movie, and we're making that happen. Should be coming out somewhat shortly after the album.
Let's talk about that. What?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a crazy thing. I know you don't want unless it's like a hush hush thing.
No. It's been a thing that we've been talking about. Like I said, the album is a concept album, and I wanted to deliver the vision all the way. Like I did this like I said, we did this record a couple times, and some of the times it was like very subtly like the concept was there, but I felt like you lost it. Like you wouldn't really get it if you were actually listening. This time around, I feel like it's a lot stronger, and this just gave me the want to put it to film. And also just kind of, I've never done acting before, but this is my first time I'm ever doing it, so it might be shit, but like.
Have you guys started recording yet?
Yeah. We're like halfway through filming.
Let's fucking go. That's crazy. Are all of you guys in it?
No.
They're in it
What?
as like,
Am I?
well, kind of, or like, because it blends in with some of our music videos, and they're in the music videos.
Yeah.
I played a cop.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Sexy cop?
No, just
Yeah.
a cop. That was before we
Yeah.
filmed.
I would be.
Remain sexy.
I would kind of want to like put them in like somewhere,
This is
just like little
officer.
sprinkled, so that you can see them.
Yeah.
But
That's so
that
wicked,
might
bro.
come. But yeah,
That's a huge part of the process. Bro.
Yeah,
Did you guys write like a whole script and everything?
Yeah, I wrote the script. At first, this has really been a journey making this movie, because I wrote the script, and originally I wanted, just to film it ourselves, and it'll be like little teasers that led into like the songs and this and that. And we started filming with this one guy who's a good friend of ours, but then scheduling and everything, and then I went with somebody else, and he's another great director, and he was like, what if like I get a crew together and we actually make this like a full thing? And I was like, I mean, yeah, let's try it. And
Fuck
so
yeah.
it kind of went a little beyond me, really. So these people just started coming in, and like we had a whole crew, and we had a cast, and we just decided to kind of go for it, and it's been really, really cool. It's been a really fun experience. Like I said, I've never done acting or anything like that before, but I've enjoyed myself, and I think whether it comes out good or not, like yet to see, but regardless, I'm happy that we did it.
For sure.
Yeah. Still comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least you can say you tried,
Yeah.
And that's it. And if you're having fun doing it, like you were saying earlier, it's like, who gives a fuck,
For sure.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, most elements of the album have all been very collaborative, like with other bands, friends of ours.
For sure.
Like our cover shoot we did with a friend of ours from another band, and she modeled for us for the cover, which was really fun. So yeah, it's always going to be like a team effort, and it's cool to like, I think one great thing is to like involve other people, from your community if you possibly can, like photographers, videographers, musicians, actors, whatever, like the more people you involve, the bigger it becomes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you say?
I like being like hyper, kind of
Just
hyper specific of our own actual life in our music, and you'll see that like in the record. We have like a couple name drops of a couple like friends of ours that were just happen to be there, or just like in that they're just in the lyric or something like that. Or we have a couple songs where I like randomly name drop a couple like inside jokes or people that funny. And it's cool that we get to involve all these other bands that we play with in our stuff, because it's just like, well, yeah, it's us. That's what it is. And you're not gonna find these lyrics of these people in this specific way anywhere else.
Yeah, our friends are in the movie, so involving everyone we know, really.
That's basically what I'm trying to do with this whole thing too. It's just like, how can we get as many people like involved as possible? Because again, that's where everything just like magically clicks. You know, you like, I'm throwing these community dinners where people, if you just have an idea, just come out and like talk it out with someone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like so much easier to hear like the feedback, or like the ideas start to click when you start saying them out loud, versus like that echo chamber of being an artist in your own head. You know what I mean? Like trying to write a guitar for like 4 fucking hours and you can't get it right. But then you bring it over to someone else and you're like, oh, you just gotta, you know, like tune your strings a little differently or something, or, you know, whatever it may be. There's so much beauty that comes with the collaboration. That's why I think bands are so fucking awesome. You know, and you guys are the first one I've done. So, but yeah, a few final words, I guess, I'd like to ask you guys. If you guys had any piece of advice for either an upcoming band or an upcoming artist, just like one piece each of like what you would do for, you know, if you were in their shoes, like if you just started your career, whether it be, I want to be a guitarist, I want to be, you know, a SoundCloud artist, or whatever it may be. If you have any wisdom you guys have learned from your journeys individually or as a band that can maybe help the people at home to kind of kickstart their creative journey.
Just start. You just got to start. I mean, just, if you want to be in a band, go find bandmates. If you want to start putting out music, you know, go get it recorded, put it out. But just don't be afraid to start, I think is probably the best thing to say, I would imagine.
Would you recommend putting out music first, or like doing the band thing first, like trying to find the bandmates, you know?
I guess it depends on your process. You know, if you can produce it all on your own and you're producing your very first songs, like, just put them out, you know, just put them out, see what the response is, and then for your next project you can come in, you know, make whatever changes you want to make. If you're someone who's just like a guitar player or a drummer, you know, somebody who needs a band to be with, just plenty of places to look. Facebook, you know, that's where I found this guy. That's where I found these guys, really. Are really like your friends. Maybe you know somebody. Maybe you met somebody at a party one time. Like, oh yeah, I play drums. You know, hit them up and jam it out. You know, maybe they're really good, and you never and you have no idea.
Yeah.
So yeah, just start.
Perfect.
I think I said earlier too, don't be scared of failure. By the way, don't be scared of being cringy or being like embarrassed to your friends or something.
You can be afraid.
Okay, you can be afraid, I guess, of that. But like, if you really like what you're doing, just keep trying it, and you know, don't be scared of failure. Pretty much. But what were you gonna add to that?
No,
interrupted me.
I know, sorry.
I don't know. Treat your career like a painting, and just start throwing paint at it. You don't know what it's gonna be yet, but you know, if you keep at it long enough and you're true with what it is, 10 years down the line, it's gonna be a masterpiece.
Oh yeah. I agree.
Yep.
I know it's on the spot. I know it's a
Advice
for
up and coming people who like to play music.
yeah.
Yeah, decide how much you like it, you know, and why.
Mm.
Because for each of us, we all have our own reason why we like to play it. Maybe it's all you got. Maybe it's what you just love. Maybe it's like an outlet for you. But I mean, yeah, for me, I can speak about how I think. It's just I feel like most free when I play bass, and each year I just get better and better, and that makes me happy. And when people tell me, "Oh, like that sounds good," when I feel like I'm playing well, it just makes me happy in a way that like a paycheck couldn't, and like work couldn't. And so for me, I just love playing bass, whether it's recording for the studio or recording for a demo, and just like listening back to it, it just makes me happy. And if that's all that there is for me, then I'm still happy with that. So if I needed more, then, you know, I would maybe do something differently. But I know my why, and that feeds my what and like how I practice.
I love that.
Yeah, solid.
Yeah. Okay. So final message I will say is I want to ask you guys, what does the name the Mox even mean?
No.
Hold on,
no, you can't.
I got you. Hold on. So, it's a funny story actually. So when I was a kid, I used to have this friend, and I knew a lot of crazy people over there, but you know, his dad, he owned a bunch of cattle, and you know, Man, I forgot what it even was, but he had this like long ass like what's it called? Oh, like the brands.
Mm-hmm.
You know how they would brand the cattles,
Yeah.
and it was freaking. It was I don't even remember like what it said, but he used to like we were messing around one day and we were just out and about like just messing around with the cows and everything. And my friend, he's like, I'm gonna like, dude, wouldn't it be sick if we just like branded each other? And I was like, no, it would not. That would hurt.
Yeah.
And we were just stupid kids. We were like fucking 14 or something. And so we did it. And
What?
he was like, he was shaking, man. He was like insane. He couldn't like, he was really scared. And I was like, just do it, whatever. And so he did it, but he kind of like missed.
Yeah.
And essentially, like what I have right now, right here, is like an M-O kind of an X kind of looking thing. It's supposed to be a K, but yeah. And
That's
then I,
interesting
like,
as fuck.
years
I
later,
didn't know
we're
that.
like, yeah.
Why did you
that'll
tell
be-
him and not tell us? And can we see it?
No.
Y'all have not known the name of the reason why?
Why are you falling over?
I'll show you one day.
Oh my God.
Damn,
I
well,
don't
now we
want it
know
like
why they're
that.
called the Mox. We basically got to know them a lot better and understand a lot where their music comes from, and I'm excited to see them grow, and I hope you guys give them a listen. When does the album come out, and where can they find you guys on the socials and everything? I'll also put it in the bio and everything.
Yeah, the album comes out March 27th. Sorry for your loss. Did y'all see like that like Bruno Mars soundboard thing?
Yeah.
And he was like, Anderson .Paak. It's like, oh wait, that's not the sound. But yeah, album comes out March 27th. The album's called Sorry for Your Loss.
Yeah.
And you can find us everywhere at the Mox Official, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and our website at moxmoxmox.com.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all so much for doing this. It's been great. This has been Conversations with the New Renaissance. Peace.
Thank you.
There we go. Pretty easy, right? Oh yeah, appreciate y'all.
Yeah, man.